is Hartford. Give me Waterbury.
Back here at Pelicans Ballpark here in Myrtle Beach, California, where Keene State snaps its two-game losing streak with a 9-3 victory over the Vikings of Salem State. Nick Landy here on the Owls Media Network, and joining us after the game here is the head coach of the Owls, Justin Blood. Coach, a lot has changed over the last 24 hours since the doubleheader from yesterday. Just has to feel good to get the bad results from yesterday out of the system and get a nice win today.
Yeah, it's a good result. The end result definitely feels much better than yesterday. For a good chunk of this game, it felt a lot like yesterday, though. So we finally were able to put together some better at-bats with runners on base when we needed them. And Brendan Eaton had a couple of good at-bats, I think with 2 strikes both times. So, yeah, hopefully we can start to swing the momentum in the right direction offensively.
And that's one of the biggest differences I saw today compared to yesterday, is that it just seemed like the hits were just much more timely. There were still some runners left on base. There was that bases loaded situation the inning before Brendan's big hit that they weren't able to get runs across. But what did you ultimately see different from your hitters out there today?
Yeah, I think kind of like we said yesterday, it's experience, and it's that's probably why you see Brendan Eaton ended up getting a couple of those big knocks today, because he's been through this before, and it is baseball, so success rates aren't as high as we want them to be. So he's not going to get a big hit every time he's up, but he had really good at bats where we needed him most. And I think for these younger guys, it's really just going to be getting more opportunities, and they're going to fail. But the more opportunities they get, the more comfortable they'll get, and as they get comfortable, they'll be more successful.
And then we got to talk about the other big story here, Daniel Kentaffi. First start on the mound, first win. How impressed were you with what he did out there today?
Dan was very good today. He threw strikes. He spun a good breaking ball. We're hopeful that he is going to develop his changeup, so he'll have a third weapon. But I think that the sky's the limit for Dan. He's a big kid. He moves really well. He's got a feel for his stuff right now, and I think that in a year or two he could be a very big piece to what we're trying to do here. So that was very encouraging. Seemed very comfortable and poised, and got some ground balls when he needed to, got some swings and misses when he needed to. So yeah, you can't complain about that start, especially his first in his career.
And then we also have to talk about Shea Zena, who came on for 3 innings of relief after Dan and was able to hold the lead for you guys. After an up and down day for your bullpen yesterday, how huge was that to see from Shea, not just from a performance perspective today, but also in terms of just keeping your bullpen fresh for the rest of the week?
Yeah, we have a lot of options out there. We still have a lot of guys we want to get on the mound this week and see. Shea was very good today. We needed that. I think Shea just has a toughness about him. I thought he did a great job against Trinity. It was in a game that was kind of out of hand, but he did a good job of putting some fight back into our dugout. We used him in a pinch hit role yesterday, and wasn't available. Maybe so. Again, I'm learning stuff as a coach too of what's more important, having him available for a late inning mound appearance or a pinch hit appearance. So I'm certainly going to continue to make some mistakes there as well. But he did a great job, and again, he's tough. He's got good stuff, and we needed this win, so we were just going to roll with him and let him finish it.
So ultimately, it was a successful bounce back for you guys after a tough day yesterday. And baseball is one of those games where if you have a rough day and you can't figure out how to get out of it, it can just get mentally much more difficult for the players out there. So as a coach, how do you personally educate your players to be able to overcome a tough day like yesterday and make a quick turnaround to having a more productive day today?
We just try to explain to them. I mean, this is how the game's truly meant to be played. You look at the big leagues, obviously, minor league baseball, college baseball even to a degree. You play 3, 4, 5, 6 games a week. So it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Lacrosse plays 1 game a week, 2 games a week. They have everything on the line once or twice. If you let things pile up on you in this sport, it'll bury you. Because you're going to have a lot of opportunities every week, and especially on a southern trip like this, where we got 8 games in a few days and then 2 games on the back end when we get home. you need to stay more even keel and just ride out some of those highs and lows. And oftentimes when you think you're at your lowest, that's when that positive wave is coming, and you just got to keep working and staying with your process and waiting for it to come.
So quick turnaround for tomorrow. You got a 9 a.m. game tomorrow against Wells. What are you expecting from that game tomorrow?
We're going to start Joe Schlehuber tomorrow. So he was the freshman who came out of the bullpen the other day against Framingham, and he's been working as a starter in the preseason, so he's going to get a chance to start. We still have a few other guys that we want to get on the mound, and certainly some more guys that we want to get into the lineup and get some at bats. So we're hoping to put together another winning lineup and pitching combination tomorrow. And now that we lost one game due to the weather overnight, we were supposed to play that doubleheader today, so we're still trying to pick up another game tomorrow as well, but we'll see. So hopefully we can just keep some positive momentum going tomorrow morning.
I should also point out, aside from his pitching skills, Joe Schlehuber, an excellent cameraman. He helped us out today on the camera today. I want to thank Joe and also everyone else that helped us out today. Coach, thank you for stopping by. We look forward to seeing you back on the field tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Nick.
We'll be back to wrap up from Myrtle Beach after this. Keene State with a 9-3 victory over Salem State to snap their 2-game losing streak and improve to 2-3 on the season. Salem State, meanwhile, dropping to 0-3 on the year. As I mentioned with Coach Justin Blood in the previous segment, Keene State has a quick turnaround tomorrow where they will play Wells College at 9 a.m. at the Polo Grounds. We will have that game right here for you on the Owls Media Network. I want to thank Joe Schlehuber and Brendan Muse for helping out with the broadcast today, as well as everyone else who's been able to help out here at the Ripken Experience. Again, we will be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Keene State against Wells on the Owls Media Network. This is Nick Landy signing off. Have a great rest of your day.
You have been watching a Keene State Athletics broadcast on the Owls Media Network. Please tune in to our next broadcast, and thank you for watching.